Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Glance, again around the topic of the Azure Developer CLI. Now within this session we would like to focus on the topic of monitoring and what the Azure Developer CLI brings in for us in that topic. Now I have already made several videos on the Azure Developer CLI that I will reference within the show notes of this video. And as a starting point for this session, we have already set up one complete application using the Azure Developer CLI based on the to-do Node.js Mongo Azure Container Apps sample. And we have deployed that to Azure. And we have already seen that in the previous videos that there are also some components predefined and deployed in order to make things observable and in order to do the monitoring. So basically we have the application insights and we have some shared dashboards and a log analytics workspace. Now taking a look at the Microsoft documentation, you will see that there is a dedicated section around monitoring your project and what the Azure Developer CLI gives you. Now, first of all, from my perspective, the most important point is that those components are already predefined within the templates. So you already have some, let's say, basis, some fundamental monitoring baked into the template and deployed to your app. And that's really good. Now, with the Azure Developer CLI, you also have some commands that allow you to jump from the CLI directly to the corresponding application inside dashboards. So there is no, well, to be honest, big magic around that, but I think it's quite nice to have that in order to have some shortcuts when you're working with the app, when you're testing the app, when you want to quickly jump to something based on your developer flow. So you might be using the terminal, you might be using VS Code. And then you quickly want to check the logs, and you do not want to navigate through the depths of the Azure portal, navigating through your resource group, or maybe you have some shortcuts defined or whatsoever. Basically, what from my perspective really makes sense is to have this integrated in your flow, making use of the terminal. And well, as I said, there is no huge magic around that, but I think it's a really nice way to cut things short. So we have now the monitor command. So let's see what the help says. And basically you have minus overview, minus live, minus logs, which jumps to the corresponding dashboards. There are some restrictions that have nothing to do with the Azure Developer CLI. For example, live metrics is currently not supported for Python. That is what it is. You can also define the environment for which you want to jump to, which then guides you to a different resource group and to a different dashboard, of course. So let's just try things out. So if I do an AZD monitor overview, this will open up the browser, hopefully. So let's see. So I have to switch to the browser now, and what you see is that I'm now at the shared dashboard using the application insights. Well, there is not too much that happened up to now. So there was, of course, one session. But let's see to get some traffic in there. So let's jump to the web front end. Let's see if we can bring some live in there. So let's add an item, the famous test item. No, come on. Test item. Okay, that's not so cool. Let's add another list. Okay, it seems that there is... okay, here we go. We add an item, which is called test. Now we get things going. So, test. State is in progress. We save it. Now let's go back here. Let's refresh things. Well, not too much that is happening here. So, well, let's see if the other dashboards give us some more information. Let's see if we can have past 30 minutes. Let's apply that. Yeah. So yeah, we see a little bit of utilization here, but yeah, due to the fact that I did not do too much there, don't expect any big information around that. So let's do the live logging. So again, we just enter that, and this will connect us to the browser, and we'll open up the corresponding dashboard with the live metrics, which is connecting to the app. And yeah, let's give it another try. So let's add an item here. Test. And we will put in a due date, and we will put it in process, and we will save it. Now let's see if something happened here. Well, there was a little bit of a spike of CPO. There have been some requests, so we will see. We see that there is something happening, and that's already baked in. Now, last but not least, let's do the logs, which will basically open again within the browser the corresponding area within Azure. So we have here, as expected, the queries that we can run there against our data, which is the log space. So there is no new functionality around that. So it's the one that you already know, that you already use. No hidden magic, no black magic in there, but it's very well integrated into the terminal. So if you are already working, if you do a deploy, if you do some tests within VS Code, you can then really easily jump off to the corresponding areas within the Azure portal. So you do not have to navigate, you do not have to have shortcuts, you just are within your environment, you are within your flow. And of course, you also have that within VS Code. So as I said in a previous video, there is the corresponding extension that you can install, and there you have the monitoring functionality that is the same as you had within the terminal. So no matter how you're working, what your flow is, if you are more in Visual Studio Code using the command palette, or if you're using terminal and VS Code in combination, you can always quite shortly and quite comfortably jump to the well-established monitoring solutions that are automatically deployed with your application. Yeah, with that, that was it around monitoring. Stay tuned. There will be some more videos around the Azure Developer CLI coming up. And with that, ABC, always be curious, and see you next time. Until then, bye.